Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about building trust within yourself or learning how to trust yourself. And this is of course a topic that is relevant to my life right now. And so I want to just start it off with like a little story of something that recently just happened. And then I want to just kind of dive into the topic. So as you can see, a couple of videos ago, I lost my job. I got fired. And that was actually last week. That was a week ago. And to be quite frank, I'm not in a position, or I wasn't in a position to where I, could lose that job and just like be okay financially. Like I really don't have money saved up like I should. It was something sudden and something that I wasn't prepared for. And there were a few days afterwards where I kind of was just spiraling a little bit, like, what am I gonna do? Oh my gosh, like the first is coming up, I don't know, like just saying and thinking all of these things. And it got to the point where I recognized a pattern, and I recognized like, you've been here before, like you have been in a situation like this before where something like tragic or something really unexpected happens to you, and then you have to then kind of clean up the pieces after everything has been blown up. And this is a common theme in my life, not because of others or because of what somebody else did, but it's really because of what I did. And I'm coming to realize that I, in the past, have not trusted myself in these situations. Like I'm always reaching out for help. I'm always trying to see who I can lean on or what I can do or who can save me, so to speak, because I didn't believe in myself enough to save myself. And so for 3 days, I really have just been honestly like numbing myself to the world, trying to sleep and trying to just ignore what's happening and pray that somebody's going to come save me. And it's been difficult. I've had like, I don't know, just bad thoughts and bad sleep patterns. And then finally, after a few days of that, I felt within myself like that I should just stop. It was literally just like a pattern recognition. Like I literally was just like, stop. Like you're worrying, you're thinking about the worst case scenario. You are thinking about how much a travesty and how much of a bad thing that this is, when literally everybody that you look up to and admire and watch has gone through this. Every millionaire and billionaire has gone through a period of time at varying different ages. It didn't matter if they were 20, if they were 30, if they were 40, where they were homeless, where they got fired, where they lost their job, where they lost somebody close to them, where they didn't have a place to live, like all these different things. And you hear it as a part of their story. And so knowing that, I just told myself, like, just stop. Like, stop trying to control everything and stop worrying so much to the point where you're making yourself sick and you are manifesting these negative scenarios because you're thinking about them so much and putting so much energy into it. And a lot of the books that I read about just personal development and manifestation and learning how to control your emotions and your thoughts, they all talk about energy and saying that if you put your attention towards something, that is what gives it power. And as soon as you take it away, it can't harm you and it can't hurt you. And I think that that's a concept that's really difficult to grasp, especially if you did not grow up conditioned to know that, or if you weren't taught that. It's kind of difficult because we're conditioned to really just react to certain things, to think that what we see in front of us is what it is. You know, I have a video that I posted a few months ago called 3D is an effect, not a cause. And a lot of the times we look at things that are happening in front of us in this 3D reality and we think that it is the cause. Like, because this happened, because I crashed my car, now this is going to happen. Because I got into a fight with this person, this is going to happen. But really, energetically, something happened before then in order to manifest that event in the 3D. And I won't get too into it, but I say all that to say I caught on to this pattern and I'm just like, stop. Like, you've been here before. You have felt like you've been pushed to the edge. You have been financially distraught and emotionally distraught. And I just felt like I was telling myself, like, how many times are we going to go through this? How many times are we going to worry and stress and fear and doubt when we can just let go? And so that's what I did. So I spent the following 2 days just letting go, just thinking good thoughts. And it wasn't easy. Like, there would be times where I would be just on a roll negatively and I would have to stop myself. And I really had to learn how to trust myself in that moment. I had to tell myself, hey, like, this is what's happening. This is the state that you put yourself in. Let's change it energetically first before we try to do something in the physical, right? And mind you, the clock is ticking. Like the first is coming up. I have rent due. I have this due. I have that due. I'm like, my mind is going all these places, but I just told myself, stop. Like, I'm not gonna die. Nobody's gonna knock on my door on the first and beat my ass because I didn't pay my rent. Like, none of this is gonna happen. Just relax. And so I told myself that. And today is the second. I woke up today with a text message. I have a business outside of what I was doing for work, but I hadn't really been pouring into it because I've been working so much. And somebody texted me basically saying that they want to book me for my services and that they went to my website and that they bought the highest package, basically. And it's like, it's just crazy because literally the 6 days before that, or the 5 days before that, I'm stressing, I'm worried. I'm just like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to pay that? And it's like, when things happen, when something catches you off guard, it's really natural. We're really conditioned to just go to the worst case scenario. We're conditioned to worry. We're conditioned to think about what we don't have, about all the things that we need. And really, we should be focusing on the things that we do have. Like, I went around my room and my bathroom and I was just like, you know what? I'm okay. Like, I still have food to last me for this long. I still have this. I just took charge of my mind. And I was like, I'm not going to let myself spiral. I refuse to do that. Even if it does end in an eviction or whatever, the worst case scenarios, like I've thought of that so many times before, I'm done. And so to wake up literally today with a text message that says, hey, like I just bought your services, and now to like have that physical proof of me relaxing, like, I don't know, just to have the physical proof of like, I did not worry, I did not stress for the last few days. And it's like, I feel like it just opened up that energy. And you can believe what you want. I know some people think that like this is woo-woo type stuff, but I really think that it's like, I'm really believing that it's true. And I'm learning how to trust myself in these situations, because when you have been betraying yourself for so long, or when you've been operating in a certain way and then you want to do a 180, you want to switch, you want to change your way and change your thinking, the only way to build that trust is through action. And I guess in this case, it would be a lack of action for me, because I stopped myself from performing certain actions, but I replaced it with something positive. And so when you're in certain situations where, like I said, you're going through something, everything looks like it's falling apart, you literally have to trust yourself in that moment. You can't say, okay, well, once this is in place, then I'll be okay. Once this is okay, then I'll relax. Because in this world, we see that that's not how things work. Even people with the most money, with the most success and fame and help, they even understand that it doesn't matter what's next. Like you have to be okay now. You have to feel good now, right? Feel good now, be here now. And I think that that's just a perfect example of that. And that's why I wanted to make this video, because this is one of the first times where I feel like I'm actually aware of how much I'm trusting myself and moving in that direction. And it, like I said, it is scary. Like when you don't see physical proof that everything is going to be okay, and you just have to rely on your own thought energy and rely on whatever you believe in or whatever you think, that can be a very scary thing. A lot of us feel like we need to have proof in order to be happy and move forward. It's like, okay, well, once I pay off my debt, then I'm going to go on vacation. Or once I do this, then I'll do that. Once I, have this amount of money saved in my bank account, then I'm going to do that. But it's like, at least for me, I would get close to those numbers or get close to what I said I'm going to do. And then something would happen to where I couldn't get there. And then it would just be like a constant, like, okay, well, tomorrow, well, next time, well, when this happens. And meanwhile, I'm not even living my life. And then I'm also not trusting myself too, because I say I'm going to do something, but then I back out, and then I'm just thinking about the bad things over and over. And I hope that this is making sense. But I say all this to say that self-trust is really built through action, and you really have to build it, even if everything around you is saying the opposite. Like, it's really a time where you have to go within and not pay attention to your bank account, your circumstances, the people around you, the government, the media, what people are saying. Like, you literally just have to believe and have to trust in yourself enough that you're going to be okay. And so I just wanted to share that story because, like I said, I'm learning how to trust myself, and I've done it in the past before, but sometimes doubts come up. And sometimes when you've been conditioned to think a certain way for X amount of years, like, you're not always going to hit the nail on the head, or sometimes you might backtrack and you might go back. And I feel like I've been doing that for a while, but this was just an amazing experience. Like, that's not to say that I'm going to not have like hardships later on down the line, or that everything is okay now, because money does not fix everything. But it really is a good start when you can literally take yourself out of the disaster mindset and trust yourself enough to relax and to be okay. Like, that is like the foundation of everything that you need, because at the end of the day, it's you, right? It's literally you versus you. At the end of the day, I know people like to say like nobody's going to come save you and da da da, and there's different philosophies on that, but it really just comes down to trusting yourself enough to know what you want and know what you deserve and to only accept that. And then also trust yourself enough to make mistakes, but then be able to learn from those mistakes and move forward. And so that's just like where I feel like I am in my life right now. And I just wanted to share this video for like anybody else who feels that way, because people are going through a lot. There's a lot of changes that are happening. A lot of people are just waking up to different things in their lives that they may not be happy with, or that they want to improve, or that they want to stop. And it's a scary place to be, because in order to do that, you have to trust yourself. You have to trust that things are going to get better, and you have to trust that you're making the right decisions for a future that you can't even see yet, right? A future that you're not even experiencing, but you're trusting that you're walking in the right path. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say, guys. There's a lot of interesting things happening, like I said, but I'm slowly moving through it and trusting myself. And I want to document the process, because I know that I'm going to want to come back and like look on these videos. But again, I know that people are going through this as well. And it feels a lot better when you can relate to others. So just know that you're not alone, and that you can really trust yourself, and start small too. Like, trusting yourself doesn't have to be a big thing that comes after tragedy, or that comes after like unexpected events. Like, you can start trusting yourself today in your day-to-day things by doing the things that you say that you're going to do. And it might feel bad at first, but that's just your brain tricking you to keep doing the same things, because that's where it feels safe. Like, you literally just have to ignore it, ignore the noise, and move forward. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about the video. Make sure that you like, that you comment, that you subscribe, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye.